Hello, everyone. Now we're going to talk about university students and social issues. We select a few questions to discuss this topic. Let's start.
Which are the main problems that we have to deal with as a society?
Okay, I believe that corruption and the bad things that carries with it is the worst problem that we have to deal with as a society. And of course, the protests are just the effect of people, especially young generations, that couldn't handle this injustice no more. So they decided to react this time and show the country that corruption, dishonesty, and lack of transparency won't be tolerated.
I think that the problem that most affects our society is, as you mentioned, the lack of honesty and transparency of the entities that rules our country. I'm talking about corruption. In recent days, our country has been embroiled in a political crisis in the midst of a health and economic crisis. Many young people and adults went out for a peaceful protest, but the police used their power against the protesters. Two young men had a bad ending and passed away.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. A few days ago, we went through a political crisis due to the lack of honesty and transparency of the entities that govern us, which caused the majority of the population to raise their voices in protest, using their freedom of expression.
Okay, and what do you think university students are worried about society issues?
Mm, I think yes, for sure. Although there are people who are indifferent, a lot of social projects are initiatives made by university students.
Let me be frank. Recently, I have noticed more interest from the students faced with these new issues, but some others are still indifferent, and it's like they live in a bubble.
Yeah, that's true. Students have shown that they really care about society issues since recent events have been developing. They were the most concerned sector of the country that stood for the rights, and that's really significant.
Now, what are the initiatives that are taking to help society?
Facing that situation, citizens have chosen to show their disconformity, making protests in several departments and districts of the country. We can't pretend that much of what happened hasn't been our responsibility for ignoring the politics of our country. So that we have started to inform ourselves more consciously in order to know about who are the people that represent us at present and who are the possible candidates to assume these charges subsequently.
I think the same. Students nowadays are performing an important role in society. They are not only active in protest, but also in the web media through constantly informing about recent events and news that conventional informative channels won't deliver.
Actually, I see more people concerned about the country's politics. Conscious young universities students are spreading information about what was happened and about our new authorities. I also see a lot of people concerned for the environment too. Many new business projects are related to environmentally friendly products. For example, clothes, brands, or essential goods.
And what stance are university students taking?
I believe that university students are standing against injustice in any ways, and recently about the new educational proposed reform that they refuse to accept. As a result, students started the most important protest in years.
Many universities encourage young people to care about social issues, and now a lot of students are most socially conscious. In my opinion, social media have a very important role too.
Yeah, some people support these initiatives, other people don't, and a percentage of them prefer not to have an opinion. I think it's always important to have a clear and definite stance.
Okay, and what is the message that this generation wants to leave to the others? How can we get to a more conscious society?
This generation is paving the way for an important change. The message is the fight for all rights and the importance of knowledge. The repression and violence must no longer be justified. We are seeking change peacefully, but we are filled with determination.
Yeah, it's time to break with the past in which we have been living and start fighting for the democracy in which we worked so long and hard to. We could start to be involved in each one of the society's issues. Only in that way we can try to improve and reach social harmony and equality.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. Finally, I think that the message that this generation wants to leave to the others is that no matter the circumstances, people must stand against what they believe is wrong and fight for their rights. That's the only way we can flourish as a society. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.